Hello and welcome to another episode of The History of Ecuador. On tonight's chapter, we will be diving into the church, the education, the daily life, and the first and the second president of the Republic of Ecuador. Tonight, as our first guest, we will have a very dear friend. He is Father Fernando de las Mercedes. Hello, Fernando. Good evening. Welcome to our program. How are you?
Buenas noches, muchas gracias.
In English, please.
Oh, of course. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's great to have you here. Our first question is, how was religion back then in Ecuador?
Well, first of all, something that we need to understand is that in 1830, the only religion allowed in Ecuador was Catholicism.
I see. Now, is it true that the Vatican was still in control, right?
Yes. So, in this time, the Vatican had rule over who to elect as a priest or a bishop in different parts of the world. However, during this time, in Ecuador, the government was doing so. And the Vatican wasn't happy with that decision.
Wow, interesting. Now, can you tell me other obligations or responsibilities that the Catholic Church had during that time?
Yes, there were different tasks,
such as the control of marriages, births, and deaths.
A lot of things have changed in society, in the culture throughout the years. What can you tell me about this?
So, at the beginning of the 19th century, things were a little bit different than they are right now.
For example, dating was called courting. Also, men would work while women would stay at home, cleaning, doing dishes, cooking, etc. Also, women couldn't study at school, and there were butlers and maids in every house.
Hey, what a difference.
Ah, yes. Life was different. There were good things, bad things, things that make history what it is now.
Wow, well, it was great having you here. Thank you so much. Well, now that we have learned a little bit about the culture of Ecuador, the church, the education, here is our second guest. He's a very important historian, and he's dedicated his life to study the history of Ecuador in detail. Now with us, please welcome Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you here. Now the first question goes directed to the different groups of power in the Republic had at the beginning.
Yes. Well, at the beginning of the Republic, there were three powers in control of our government. Number one, the executive. Number two, the legislative. And number three, the judicial.
Awesome. Let's see this chart here that talks about this.
The executive was formed by the president, the vice president, and the cabinets. The legislative by the Senate and the House of Representatives. And the judicial by the Supreme Court of Justice and the judges.
Unable to be a citizen, back in the day, you had to first be married or be over 18 years old. Second, you had to know how to read and write. Third, you had to own a property that was worth more than 200 pesos.
Wow, a lot of requirements, huh?
Yes.
These requirements were met only by a small group of people.
Also, something very important was that women could not vote.
Really?
Yeah. Times were very different.
Also, indigenous people had to pay a lot of taxes, and Afro descendants were kept as slaves.
Now, what can you tell me about the first president of the Republic of Ecuador?
Well, first president of the Republic of Ecuador was Juan José Flores. His presidency started in 1830 and went till 1834.
Vicente Rocafuerte became the second president of the Republic of Ecuador from 1835 to 1839. He helped the country by building schools, roads, and the first school for women.
And after Juan José Flores came back to power from 1839 all the way to 1843.
I see.
Remember that him and Rocafuerte weren't friends at all.
His last period as a president lasted only 2 years. Why? First, because he implemented taxes and people were not in agreement with taxes, especially the high communities of the Europeans and the mestizos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Second of all, he created something that was denominated as La Carta de la Esclavitud.
This was a new constitutional charter that prolonged or extended the presidential period to 8 years.
Thank you, Don Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It has been a pleasure.
It was great having you.
Hasta la próxima.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being in our program. And, well, remember always to be healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima. Bye.